Hello and welcome. I'm Lori Lumby with Authentic Freedom Academy, and this is our midday meditation, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Central Time. And you can learn more about the services and the programs we offer at Authentic Freedom Academy at www.authenticfreedom.love, Love. For today's midday meditation, I am offering Tonglen with a twist. And this is my own unique spin on the Tonglen practice that is part of the traditional Tibetan Buddhist, catalog of spiritual practices. Tonglen specifically is used to help us transform and release negative, or painful or uncomfortable emotional experiences, and can also help us to alleviate the symptoms of trauma. I've been using Tonglen for many years to release trauma, to move through challenging emotions and experiences, anxiety, depression, anything that feels uncomfortable in our body and that we know is arising out of a place of woundedness or having been triggered. So with Tonglen, it is a practice that we can utilize symptomatically, meaning that when the experience or the symptom emerges, then we can use that practice. And if we are finding that Tonglen, we can use it symptomatically, we can also use it as a foundational practice, meaning we can choose a specific experience, event, feeling that we want to transform and do a Tonglen practice on a regular and consistent basis to help alleviate that experience. So I've used Tonglen for such things as anxiety, guilt, shame, fear, trauma, just really a lot of different things. So for today's practice, I'm going to guide you through Tonglen with a twist, which adds my own personal feature to the Tonglen practice. So as we begin, I invite you first to become comfortably seated or lying down. And I'm going to guide you through a practice that will help you get to a place of quiet stillness before we enter into Tonglen itself. So once you have experienced a seated or lying down comfortably position, I invite you to close your eyes and to begin by drawing your awareness to your breathing, to be conscious of each breath as you draw it in and as you give it release, as you draw it in and as you give it release. Allowing the rhythm of your breathing and your attention on that breath to bring you into a quieter, more peaceful state. As you have arrived at a quiet space within yourself, I now invite you to bring to your mind something uncomfortable that maybe you've been dealing with. Maybe you are feeling anxiety or worry. Maybe there is a sense of guilt or shame that's been plaguing you. Maybe you're feeling sorrow or loneliness. Perhaps you have been experiencing a sense of overwhelm. Or maybe you're feeling shut down or paralyzed. Maybe you're feeling a sense of frustration or rage or resentment. I invite you to take a few moments and choose one of those experiences that are perhaps most prevalent, something that is really in front of you and in your face, something that's been very bothersome. So I invite us to take a moment in quiet as you connect with what that experience might be that you want to apply Tonglen to. Once you have connected with that experience that you want to apply the Tonglen practice to, you're now going to be invited into a two-part process. The first part is to give yourself permission to feel the feeling. So if anger is what surfaced for you, I invite you to pay attention to and be mindful of that feeling of anger. If it's sorrow, to feel that sorrow, or anxiety, to feel that anxiety. As you are allowing yourself to connect with the feeling of that experience, I also invite you to become aware of where you're feeling it in your body. Maybe you're feeling it in the back of your neck or between your shoulders. Maybe it feels like a heavy weight on top of your chest. Maybe you're feeling it in your solar plexus or the center of your lower abdomen, or maybe you're feeling it in your hips. Give yourself a moment to feel the feeling and also to identify where that feeling is held in your body. And I'll give you a little hint. If you're feeling it in your head, that's not where it is. That's where we go to escape the feeling. So if you're connecting with anger and you're feeling it in the middle of your head, then allow yourself to stay with that feeling and bringing your awareness deeper into the lower parts of your body to see where you're really housing that anger. So we'll pause for a moment in silence as you feel the feeling, and more specifically, feel that feeling where it's being housed in your body. Now that you have identified the feeling and where you're holding it in your body, this is where we enter into the Tonglen practice. So the Tonglen practice with a twist is to simultaneously feel the feeling while holding your attention on and at the feeling and where you're holding it in your body. So if you're feeling it in the middle of your upper back, to hold your attention in that space where that feeling is being held. Or if it's your left hip or in your abdomen, to hold your attention there while allowing yourself to feel the feeling. And this is the most important part, is feeling the feeling. Because our human instinct is to run away from pain, or to avoid pain, or to flee pain. But the real transformation and healing happens when we allow ourselves to be with it, to be in it, to feel it. So you're invited to bring your awareness to the place where you're feeling that experience, to feel the experience, and to hold your attention there. To hold your attention there as you're breathing in and drawing the awareness of your breath as it's directed into that place of that uncomfortable emotional experience. So breathing into that pain, breathing into that anger, breathing into that fear, directly targeting that breath towards the place in your body where you're holding that experience. So you're breathing and visualizing and feeling at the same time, drawing your breath into the place of that pain, and then breathing out love or peace or joy or whatever word comes to you. Some people find it helpful to add a visual to that. Maybe you're breathing out pink bubbles or rainbows or balloons or a flower, something that gives you a sense of positive feeling. So breathing into that place in the body where you're feeling the pain, while feeling the pain, directing your breath to that place, and then breathing out love. Breathing into the pain, breathing out love. Breathing into the pain and breathing out love. And while you're doing that, being mindful of how the mind will draw you away from that breathing practice. It's trying to keep you away from your pain. It's a self-defense mechanism that's normal. And we're going to override that self-defense mechanism for the sake of healing and transformation. So breathing into the pain while feeling it, breathing out love. Breathing into the pain, breathing out joy. Breathing into the pain, breathing out peace. So we're going to enter into a 10-minute silent period for you to practice that Tonglen. Breathing into the pain, breathing out love. Breathing into and feeling the pain, breathing out love. And we'll begin that silence now. I invite you to slowly return your awareness to your breathing. And to slowly and gently release the Tonglen practice and coming into an awareness of the present moment and the space around you. My hope is that in engaging in that Tonglen practice, you experienced, if nothing else, a sense of release or relief from whatever that negative or painful experience might have been that surfaced for you. Hopefully your anger has calmed down. Any anxiety that you were feeling has released, that the worry has been let go of. When doing Tonglen, it's pretty common to have a shift in our experience, that we might start with one feeling, maybe it's anger, and as we're doing the practice, it might turn into sadness or worry or anxiety. When you're doing Tonglen on a regular basis, if you have this experience, the answer is to just simply stay within that practice, to move from one feeling to the next, whatever presents itself to you. If you experience a release of that feeling or emotion, it means that that layer of that pain or wound has been healed. It's a powerful practice for transforming old woundedness. You might also see that in doing the Tonglen practice that maybe it starts in a certain part of your body and moves somewhere else. That's just saying that you've released or relieved or healed the wound as it's resting on your left shoulder, and that it's moving into a deeper and lower place within your body that might be closer to the core of that wound. So my invitation is to choose something that's been problematic and do a Tonglen practice every day for 5-10 minutes to start your day with a practice around that negative experience or emotion, and to stay with that until you feel cleared of it. Maybe you only need 1 day practice, maybe you need a month, maybe you need a year. You can also use this practice when something comes up. So when we're triggered by an old wound, or fear surfaces, or we suddenly find ourselves in a place of rage or frustration, we can stop where we are and enter into a Tonglen practice to help transform that experience. So thank you for joining us for this practice today. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please leave those in the comment section below. And please join us this Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Time for our next midday meditation. And also know that these are available on Facebook anytime that you want to access them, and are also being posted on my YouTube channel. And if you have any personal questions that you want to direct them to me, my email address is Lauri, Lauri, at authenticfreedom.love, LOVE. Thank you, and have a great day.